Hello all, and thanks for stopping by to check out my too long didn't read guide for the Havoc Demon Hunter. Quick note, these are my recommendations for a basic starting point, so feel free to take it or leave it. It's up to you. With this guide, we're going to start with the talents, dip into the core of the rotation and abilities, then move on to the stats, gems, enchants, consumables, and relics. Side note, this guide will focus on single target over AoE or Mythic Plus. So first, your talents at level 99 will be Fellblade. This ability is going to provide you with far more damage than the other two options. For level 100, we're going to go with Demon Blades as it adds good damage and is passive so it doesn't clutter the rotation. Level 102, we're going to go with First Blood. This provides a good damage boost and will make Blade Dance something you use on cooldown even in single target. For level 104, it's a defensive row. I would suggest Desperate Instincts since it's automatic and the other two require activation. For level 106, simply put, it's going to be Nemesis. The other two options just aren't viable. For level 108, it's going to be really situational, like really situational. As a default, I rolled Demon Reborn, although I don't personally find I get a lot of use out of it, but I get more than the other two. For level 110, you're going to go with Chaos Blades. Before we move on to the rotation, I want to put it out there that if you have 4-piece tier 21, your entire build will switch if you're looking to min-max your damage, so just be wary of that. So with talents out of the way, let's take a quick look at how to put it all together and actually do some damage. First up, very simply put, you're going to have a lot of downtime, points at which you have too much fury or seemingly none at all. You need to be aware of these times and just not panic. It's normal when you're running with Demon Blades, there's a certain element of RNG there. So this rotation or priority order will be based on the talents I outlined just a moment ago, which will see most of your fury being generated from Demon Blades. Additive to that, you're also going to use Fellblade and Fell Rush to generate more fury. Try to use Fellblade on cooldown while not wasting the fury it generates, and try to keep a charge of Fell Rush always rolling. Since Fell Rush, again, is simply for the fury generation and not so much the damage, you can hold off if you have a lot of fury being built. You want to use Nemesis and Chaos Blades on cooldown and together as much as possible. As well, try and stack these both with Metamorphosis, as that will be a solid 3 DPS cooldown spike. Fury of the Illidari on cooldown and I-Beam on cooldown if you have 2 or more targets present and lined up to take the damage. Since we took First Blood, again you're also going to be using Blade Dance on cooldown, not just in AoE situations. Finally, you use Chaos Strike as a Fury dump. Some subtlety here though is that you want to ensure you don't use all of your Fury on Chaos Strike. Make sure you have enough for your big hitters. Now, when you pop Metamorphosis, which is basically your main cooldown, you're going to want to make sure you have 80 or more Fury, and when this happens, Blade Dance will become Death Sweep and Chaos Strike will become Annihilation. The core of the Havoc Demon Hunter rotation doesn't really surround Metamorphosis with this build, so really everything just remains status quo aside from the name changes. A couple of other abilities worth note that are always good to keep on your bar are obviously Consume Magic, which is your interrupt, Chaos Nova, which is an AoE stun, Blur and Darkness, which are both damage reduction cooldowns in their own right, and Vengeful Retreat, which is more of a mobility tool. It's kinda neat, and I like to sync it up with my Fell Rush. Now that you know what to do, let's review what you need in order to do it, starting with the stats to look for. For a Havoc Demon Hunter using the talents outlined before, you're going to aim for Critical Strike as your main priority, then Haste, then Versatility, then Agility, then Mastery. Unfortunately, with the way secondary stats are weighted, Agility is very low on the list. With that in mind, for your gems, you're simply going to be gemming the Deadly Deep CHEMIRINE or plus 200 Critical Strike in all of your sockets. For your enchants, it's going to be Mark of the Claw on your neck, on your back it's going to be the Binding of Agility, and on your rings it's going to be the Binding of Critical Strike. For your consumables, your flask will be the 7th Demon for the added agility, and the Potion of the Old War. You'd only want to use Prolonged Power in AoE fights as it will slightly pull ahead. For your food, it's going to be the Hungry Magister for the Critical Strike buff. If you don't usually carry your own food, the Lavish Thermore Feast will do. Always make sure to carry a couple healing potions and runes with you as well if you don't have the Light Forged Augmented Rune. And finally, your relic choices for the Havoc Demon Hunter are relatively simple. Item level is almost generally the most important in your decision making. The only traits you really want to look out for are Unleashed Demons and Contained Fury. Both are really good relics for Demon Hunters. And really, that's pretty much it for Havoc Demon Hunters. It's a pretty simple toolkit really, and in my opinion, the best part, I have to say the double jump and glide. I love that. Anyways, thanks for sticking it out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. Let me know as well down below if I missed anything or what you personally do differently. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next one.